Hello class, my name is Connor Childs, and today we'll be talking about the nursing shortage all over the world, but mainly in the U.S. The U.S. by 2030 will be so short on nurses that you will have to wait a long time to go get in anywhere to seek medical care. Nurses are on pace to decline 23% in some states. That's almost a quarter. Do any of you guys know anybody that's going to go in the nursing field or has been a nurse or have a family that is a nurse, or has even been to see a nurse because they've been ill? Nursing can be hard and very challenging because of all the schooling it takes and how many years to build up to be what kind of nurse you want to be in. There's so many different fields. My mom is actually a nurse, and she's in her 22nd year. She's worked here, she's worked in Spokane, she's worked everywhere. And she's also very concerned about this new shortage that's coming along. So today I'll be covering why we are short on nurses, what the result will be if this trend continues, and how we can really fix it from being a huge crisis in America. So let me begin. We will be talking why there is a projected scale of nurses declining. One is the aging workforce. Most of them are getting older and they're already in their mid 40s to 50s, and they're looking for something new, move on to different things because it's very stressful, especially with this pandemic going on. It's caused a lot of nurses a lot of stress for multiple different reasons. Another reason why we are so short is the lack of educators to educate nurses, like professors and medical trained teachers, and a lack of workspace for the proper instruction needed. In 2020, we turned down 80,407 nurses in the world that were ready and had the credentials to be one, but we did not have the teachers to teach them and finish up their nursing school, and they were declined. And the main part is the stress that nurses are going through. They're going through the pandemic, and you know how crazy it can be. So that is why we are short on nurses, and now we will talk about the results of if this trend continues throughout till 2030, where it starts to get really bad, and we'll notice a huge difference. And we'll see what those effects could be. The biggest threat is the workload nurses will have. If they're short on nurses, they're going to have a bigger workload, so they get burned out easy. As you see now, nurses are already stressed enough, and they're just quitting, they're retiring, they're finding new jobs, secretary jobs, anywhere, because everybody wants a qualified nurse if they have an opening, and with more experience, they're just leaving. So they will get burned out quicker. So you might have somebody that's in their 30s just be like, this is not what I want. It's too much stress, too much work. So people are just going to leave earlier. Another one is you go to a doctor and you're sick, but you need to see a nurse. It could take you weeks to see one. You never know how long it can take depending on how short it is in that state you are in. And that's very dangerous if you're ill. Another one is the impact nurses have. They're going to be trying to cover many more patients over a short span of time and just keep everything on schedule. So you could get mistreated, misdiagnosed, because they're all in a hurry to get to the next one, get to the next one, get to the next one. And you never really know how bad it could possibly be because we've never been in it, but it could be really bad. This is all according to the aacnursing.org, by the way. Now we'll be talking about things that we can help solve this crisis and maybe even avert it. But there's no real one answer to this problem, because if there was, we'd have already had it solved. There's many steps that we can take, and many different nurses, and everybody has different beliefs on what can happen. But I'm here to inform you some of the ways. I'm not here to persuade you. I'm here to inform you about some of the ways that nurses think this can be done, because they're really the ones who can help solve it. So here's a few. One, have a greater access to education for these people. I know it can be hard finding educators. Maybe we need to pay them more, the educators, to make sure they get the right training and the right knowledge. But we cannot be turning down 80,000 nurses in a year, especially with especially how it's on the decline already. When we need people out there campaigning saying, hey, these nurses, look what they do. Look how much they help America. Like, you need to be one, especially when they're in the lower grades, is what they're saying. That you get to them while they're young so they can help build, and then maybe they actually do want to become one. And maybe some places they just say nurses need to be treated better. You always see nurses on strike for better pay, better benefits, just the working conditions in general. I do personally know about any of this, but to inform you of all the nursing and all the nursing strikes and everything that has happened, it's been on the news a lot lately. And this is all from USA.edu nursing. Now, to wrap this up, and to make it short, I would like to thank all of you for being engaged and listening to the topic, because it is a very serious topic that needs to be informed with people, especially our age. I would like to review a couple things. So I was showing you why we're going through this with the age and the burnout of people and the educators, to the problems and how we can solve them. It's a long journey for them, so we just have to be patient, and we need to remind ourselves how much better this world is with nurses. Nurses are needed all over the country, and we need them to be healthy and be a healthy society in America. They're in need, and we need to avoid all the problems. Before you go, I want to ask you, where would this world be without them? Would it be a safer place? Would it be the same? Where do you think it stands? How safe would we feel? We need them more than ever right now, especially in the middle of this pandemic. So please, I want you to think about it as you are listening to this, and maybe even rewatch it, to be informed on how we can do better and why we need them so much. I hope everybody has a great day, and thank you for listening.